No open questions. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's start with kids first, just like yesterday. And it was great seeing you sharing your kids doing the onion thing. And I'm really happy. I mean, I 4-5 years ago, I also started making science videos for kids. And I think I feel there's this physician in Berkeley, I think. Now he's a retired professor. But he was once asked, so what is the biggest contribution you think somebody can do to science? And he said, teach kids and get them interested in it. So that's all I'm trying. When I say, I mean, how can we really change gardening or get more people or thing? I think it's the kids. I mean, if we can get them even a bit curious, bit interested about gardening, I think a lot will change. So that's it. So we're going to start with carrot. And what we need to do is, so this is not grow carrots. Let's be just very clear. This is not a way to grow carrots. It's a kids activity with carrots, right? So that's the small difference. And I think this mic is on. Satvik, Manoj, Kopal, Bhavna, Pallavi, check your mics. So we need to take the top. I have normally tried with these carrots, not with the other ones. And what we need to do is we just cut the top like this. Okay. What are we expecting to happen? Now, I've taken 6 because sometimes it doesn't work, but mostly it does. So what we'll see is we'll see shoots coming out from the top. It's just like onion, it's a bit different. And if you see, there's a trend here. The trend is, at least in onion and the carrot, both of them grow under the soil. And that's why they're very quick to respond to creating something on top very fast. You can also do this with celery. If you have celery, you can do it with celery. If you have spring onions, you can do with spring onion. You can also do this actually with onions. And but with the earlier exercise that we did, that's much better for kids. But if you want to just use onions to eat the top growth, just put a lot of onions here with little, very little water, and then to cut and eat the growth. That's a great idea. Probably do it sometime. And so now we have the carrots here, and probably you can use a smaller plate. Probably you can use a smaller plate, and then you just put some water in it. Now let's answer some questions. I am getting better at teaching just because of the way, or sharing just because of the questions I got yesterday. So there were a couple of things I should have clarified, and I'll tell you. For each activity, where to keep it. Firstly, since it's a kids activity, I always recommend you to keep it somewhere they can see. So not even high, at a level that they can see and be curious and observe it, right? Any brightly lit place is good for it. But even if it is not that brightly lit, it's great, it's awesome, it still works, right? Because again, as I said, just remember, these are vegetables which grow under the soil. So they're used to creating first shoots without the light, right? So the initial shoot formation will happen even if there is not much light, even if it's a darker space, right? Now, how much water? Okay, also, what height did I cut to? So I cut to this height. And this activity is also great because you didn't waste the carrots, right? So in the times of lockdown, I don't want you to use away the things that you could have eaten just for playing, right? I mean, yes, we did use that one onion, but except for that, the 6 carrots, you still have them, healthy 6 carrots, and you can just use it like this. I'm not sure if you have carrots at home right now in the lockdown. And so I would say they're like about 1 centimeter in height, and I put water up to 0.5 centimeter. That's the thing. If you can see, I can't tilt much. There's water in it, but there you go. So we are done with the first thing. We keep it for kids, and that's a great one. Now, I think the second one, which a lot of people were most interested about, is tomato and cucumber, right? Let's start with tomato. Is there any questions? I see 1, 2, 3 questions. Okay. Hope the onions will grow. Absolutely, it will grow. I think someone's. Yeah. So all the panelists were there. Let me just set it actually. Wait a second. View panelist. Where are the panelists? Okay. So lighting required to grow a tomato. So for the, I'll just come to tomato. I missed the yesterday class. Yeah, we'll do the recap at the end of this class. Yes, you can transfer them later to a pot and grow. That works too. Okay, so in a hurry, I've just got one tomato. Okay, so we are good. Okay, so there are a couple of ways you can do tomato. So a lot of people just say just cut it and put the rings in soil. I don't like that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, you're wasting tomato that you could eat, especially in a time like this. But more importantly, even as a normal gardening thing, I feel that creates a risk of fungus. Your watering has to be managed to account for the fact that there is already a wet thing at the bottom, and that's not a great thing to generally get people involved in, as per what I think. So what I like to do is we need to get the seeds out. And I really think after we are done this 20-21 days, you can just look at any vegetable and know what to or how to grow it. There's no great science to it in terms of how to. There are certain kinds of seeds, there are certain kinds of vegetables, and intuitively you get to know from your experience that, oh, this is the way to do it. So what I generally like to do is we are going to take the seeds out, and you see there's seeds here. Let me just focus here. I don't know. We need to take them out. And one other thing we have to do, we have a bowl, we have a sieve, put it, right? Because we have to wash these seeds. So one very simple thing, I mean, for people who you can just take them out, will be left behind, right? So that's okay. And that's actually the better way. We just have to, something after we take out the seeds, we have to inspect for the seeds that we have cut by mistake while cutting the tomato, right? So we just want perfect seeds which are full and everything. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking this pulp out along with the seeds and putting it in a sieve here. I think for me, this much is enough. And now what we need to do is we just need to keep the, I'll just show you in a second. I'm just removing the seeds from the pulp because my cutting skills are not that great right now. So I've got also the non-pulpy part of tomato with me. I'm going to discard that. And okay. Anyone who cooks, they're used to this, right? You put the tomato pulp here and you generally just sieve through. That's how you make soup, right? Tomato soup. you need to remove the seeds. Now, we need to give seeds a wash. The germination rate of tomato seeds is a bit low, so you'll need to put extra seeds, I would say. By extra, I mean like for lemon we did yesterday. For lemon, I had put in just like 2 seeds in one cup, and then I had put in another 3 seeds in one. But here I will definitely like to put like 4 in every cup, just to be sure. And these cups really work great. I'll tell you for a couple of reasons. One is when you take it out, it's a great size of the plant to put in the bigger pot. And also, it's a great way for you to see how many seeds germinated. If you want to do an experimentation, you want to put it at 2 places, you can do that. And so here you have the seeds. And okay. My washing of seeds is not perfect. It doesn't matter if you don't get it perfect also, but I'm sure you can do a better job. Okay. So these are all seeds. Can you see? Perfect. Now, just like yesterday, very simply, we prepare a cup, a hole. Yesterday also I forgot. A hole. If you want, you can put a small piece of napkin on the hole, just to now filter out the soil from the water that goes out, right? So I've just put a small piece of napkin there. Sorry, I'm not used to this webcam. I never know how where to hold. Any soil you have, it'll do. Don't worry about it. Right now, actually, is not even a great time to worry about it. So I'll tell you, as I was sharing yesterday also, the growth or the success of this plant after it shoots out, that will depend upon the soil. No doubts about it. But for you to understand that I can do this, I can grow this, it is going to shoot out, and to see that shoot, don't worry about it right now. Not a great time to worry about things like this, especially if you can't solve it, right? So as I said, I'm going to put, I think now I'm going to put 5 seeds. Firstly, just see that the seed should not be cut, and filter out the small ones. I'll just show you what I mean by the small ones. Actually, I'm quite happy with most of these I'm here. But in general, you can see, I'll show you how is it. Like here, of all the seeds which are there, you see some of them really stand out and others look kind of smaller. You'll find out when you do it. So I'm going to take 4 of them. Actually, if you would have toothpick, I don't have toothpick, but if you have toothpick, pick them up with toothpick and put them inside. That's great. Again, small seeds, so best is that we keep it here and then put soil on top of it. Just sticking to my finger, so we need something. Oh. Oh. So basically the seeds are in. That's what I wanted to show. And actually I did one mistake. We should have filled a bit lower, then put the seeds and then filled it to this height. Now I'm going to fill it, but it's going to be, always leave at least 1 centimeter on top or 1 inch for bigger pots on top. Simply because when you water, it doesn't overspill. When you want to just aerate it, do anything, you have some space to go wrong also. Like say, if you end up with less soil than what was needed, then you could have fixed it, right? Now this is done. Let's not forget water. Plants need only three things, essentially. That's light, water, and nutrition. So everything else is like derivative of that. Okay, this is done. Please, just for sake of success, put as many seeds as possible. I would say at least make 4 of these and put 4 or 5 seeds in each one of them. That would be great. Because last thing I want is people saying that I did it and it didn't work. Now let's come to cucumber. Are there fresh questions? Let's see the questions. I think, I hope I've grown. Okay, Pixel to Excel has grown. I just sliced tomato and put inside the water, and that's okay. Lighting required to grow a tomato. Lighting required to grow a tomato. Okay, great question. So again, for any seed that you germinate initially, even if it is no light, it's great. Actually, it's great. So I should cover this. Once you do this, put it at a dark spot. But the moment you see some growth, put it out in shade. You can put it in shade from the very beginning. That's also okay. A lot of people do that, and that's great. That's fine. But not for microgreens, not for others. But for this, you can. Can we grow oranges like lemons? Absolutely, Shweta. Exactly the same way. Onion to be kept in dark or in sunshine? Neither. Just put it in some brightly lit place. Yes, Seema Kapoor, I'll do an update of what's happening with this. How many days before we see a update? That's a great question. For tomato, for the carrots that we did, I would say 5 days, 6 days, you'll start seeing something. Maybe earlier. I don't know. It depends a lot on the carrots also. Because what I mean is if they're cold storage ones or fresh ones. For tomato, I think 2 weeks you should start seeing shoots. 3 weeks is when exactly the 21-day lockdown is when it's ready to be transplanted into a pot, generally speaking. We'll keep doing an update, we'll keep seeing, and that will be great. So now let's move to cucumber. And it's very similar to tomato. I think one thing I should do is I should just create a list of vegetables and how to take out seeds, because after you take out seeds, it's kind of similar. Most of the changes are after they become plants, how to handle them. That's a different thing. But from seed to initial germination, it comes out to be something similar. So one thing with cucumber is the cucumber that we get in market, right? It is meant for not for seeds. They don't have a lot of seeds. You consume the seeds, right? They're very soft seeds. There's a higher success rate with store-bought seeds. That's the lemon remains on the plant till it just dries. Oh, sorry. The cucumber remains on the plant till it just dries out, and the seeds become bigger and they almost have a shell on them. But still, it will be great. It will do well, and we can do this. So actually, this one has good seeds. So I'm surprised myself. What to do? Why the spoon? Spoon is to take these out now. again, you still have some part of cucumber left. Right? Even this one will be left. Let's see now. Actually, that's why I got this. And cucumber, how do you filter out the seeds that you killed while slicing it open and you didn't? That's one of the questions. So there, essentially, you need these big ones, but there's an easy way to separate. You need these big seeds, which are there in cucumber. Can you see it? Okay. And you might be asking, what do I mean these big ones? What are the other ones? I'll show you the other one. All this, I think it's not going to show, but you know cucumber, right? You see some seeds, but we also see a lot of ridges there. And there's an easy way to just separate the seed from everything else. Don't dump everything like that. Don't do that. But just crush the pulp and put it inside. Just crush it a bit and put inside. And what happens is now that when you put water in, just shake it well. Okay. So all the smaller ones will go on top. So anything that is, it also cleans. Actually, I already filtered out the good seeds. So it's not showing the bad ones, but you get the idea basically. So you get the seeds from the cucumber and then you do the same thing again. What we did with tomato. I just feel people are going to stop coming very soon, just thinking it's going to be the same. We're going to take a fruit, we're going to take the seed out and do something, and it will be all over the same. And cucumber seeds, like tomato, have lesser germination in this manner, not when you buy them specifically for growing, but they are a bit bigger. So I can put only 2 in these, kind of, or 3 maximum, not like 5. Don't put 5, put 3 in one. So just use a couple of more paper cups and cucumber is a great plant for summers. And if you grow it once, you'll find the difference. I never knew why they say cucumber is cool, really speaking. I mean, they say cool as cucumber. Have you ever wondered why do they say as cool as cucumber? Because I always feel that the coolness of cucumber comes because you take it out from the fridge. But once you grow cucumber and you harvest it and have the one that you have grown, you'll realize why it's called as cool as cucumber, because it's naturally cool. You take it from the plant, you cut it, and it's cool. Guys, for seeds, I'm going to repeat it as many times because I've repeated the reverse also for plants so many times. I've kept saying don't overwater your plants. For seeds, I'm saying don't let them dry. Don't let them dry. When in doubt with seeds, just water a bit. I'm telling you, the seed needs it. The seeds need water. Basically, they need dampness. So there's no benefit of having water dripping out down. But if it is going to be, what do you say, wet, or if it's going to be dry, it's going to be really harmful for the young plant, the young root or just sprouted seed. So that's, we have it here and we spray water on it. And I'm going to spray water on it again after some time. Now, one thing that you can do, which I'm not including here in general because I know some people go wrong with it and I want to just put it out as a separate thing. It's a great thing also if you cover it initially. You can use a cling film, you can use a plastic, you can use anything just to cover it initially, right? If you have a plastic cup that you can say probably put on top of it, like a bigger one which can grow and cover it, that's great. You can do that. Once the leaves start coming out, make some holes in it, not before that. Just accelerate the growth of the seeds because seeds love both dampness and temperature. And when you cover it, so what's happening is it's going to stay much more humid and moist all the time. So that's going to be great. This is tomato. That's cucumber. Update time, right? Let me get yesterday's things. Wait a minute. I'm looking at them for the first time since I showed you yesterday. So it's an update for me also. But let me tell you, it's amazing. And if any of you want to show update or just show your onion or something, if there's this, just put it down somewhere. I'll find out a way right now to share screen, let you share your camera one by one. Not everybody together, but one by one, we can do that. Manu, just look how we can add them as a panelist and they can share. Right now, I mean, from this app itself, I think we can go hover on their name and add them as a panelist. And every panelist can obviously share. So this is the onion. Firstly, so anyone who missed, I'll just cover very shortly. So this is an onion. It's a great activity for kids to just keep it and keep it in a way that it touches the water. You might remember I started in this but moved to this. And that's just because I only have one glass, which is made of glass. So I needed that to show you the exercise today. And slowly what you will see, you'll see the root system and you'll see the shoot system. It's a great activity for kids. And how is it doing? We can see some shoots. So this one was the original root. So this is not. So this long root was already there before we started. But wait a second. You can see some other roots have started forming just at their straightening out kind of a thing. That's by tomorrow or day after you'll see clearly for everyone. And how is it coming for you? I mean, it's something you can look. Now is the more exciting thing. Do you want something which is clearly visible? You remember this one? This is methi, right? Fenugreek. And we are growing microgreens here. We are going to, I promised you, in 7 days, you will be able to use them in your cooking. That was the promise. And let's see. Do you see that seed? This one? Wait, let me take out the seed. I lose a good seed, but that's okay. See, I'm taking tips from the makeup channels. Whenever they have to show a shade of a lipstick, they put a hand like that. You see, it has sprouted. This is the root. It was downwards. So this is methi. trying to make roots. We had covered this, you remember? And one of the things I told you was to pat it down. So what we had done was we had taken methi seeds and we had put it down here. And one thing I told you was just pat it down well with this spoon. That is very important. There is an IGTV video of this also. I had just taken this and put it up. And no, don't do this again. I'm just showing it for the people who missed it yesterday on how to do it. So it's fine. Now we don't need to keep doing it. And I see a lot of seeds that are visible. They're sprouting. And there are a lot more seeds under this. So like today is what? Saturday, Friday. It's Friday, right? So today is Friday. So probably by Sunday, we'll see a big surprise here. I just want to tell you one thing. Keep it in dark and keep it moist. That's the thing. I have put it in a cabinet. I put it in a cabinet and locked it. All of them. This is lemon. I think we should start marking because soon I'll have a lot of cups and I won't know whose update I'm doing. So this is lemon. Nothing visible here. I don't expect it to be visible for another couple of days. That's why I also don't want to dig it out because if I dig it out, then I'm disturbing one of the 3 seeds that's there. And this is methi. If nothing, guys, every day when we meet for this, that's a reminder to take care of them again. And so I've sprayed this one. Now comes the sarson, which you put using the napkins, right? And how to pick it? I don't know if you can. Can you see the white things on the black dots? That's a sarson germinating. The sarson is germinating. What a great time, no? We have our. See, imagine in these 2 days, what do we have? We have an onion here. We have this carrot thing going. Then we have lemon and cucumber and tomato. And we have sarson, which is germinating. And we have methi. How cool is this? But thank you guys for just coming. I mean, I was not expecting any today. Because I was like, I don't know how it went yesterday. And I did see some people. Can we use plastic disposable glasses? Yes. To cover? Yes. To grow? Yes. For both, you can use that. Not an issue. Just with the plastic disposable cup, if it's a big size, I'll recommend put soil in half because then you don't even need to cover it. And after the plant grows and you need to do something, cut the plastic cup and then you can use it that way. I took grow due to less light, it didn't grow. Yes, so after this germinates and everything, you need to put it in light. It's anything that's going to give a fruit. By fruit, I mean it's going to do something that a flower is going to get pollinated and then it's going to make a fruit. So be it cucumber or be it lemon or be it tomato, all of them will require sunlight. The requirement might be different. Some might do well in 3 hours, 4 hours, some might need 5 hours. But some amount of direct sunlight is always necessary for anything that is flowering. And that's why for anything that is fruiting, because fruit comes after the flower. And that's a thumb rule. That's why even say bougainvillea, you need a good sunlight. But one thing I'll tell you, even if you don't have sunlight at home, do this. Because what I do sometimes is, and what you can do, you germinate this lemon, it comes out, it becomes a small plant, put it in a neighborhood park where it gets sunlight, right? We need to give any additional nutrition, not right now. When it comes, we'll share. Do we need to change water every day? No. Just change water like once in 5 days, once a week. No need to change it every day, especially because it will be a hassle, uh, especially when your kids are doing it. Secondly, right now it's okay, but after a couple of days, the roots start forming. And every time you are changing water, you're kind of disturbing the roots, or sometimes when you keep the onion somewhere, you take it out, some roots die, some die and some, they become dry. Both happens. I don't have a paper cup. If we put tomato seeds in a small nursery pot, yes. I'm really sorry. Yesterday I mentioned, today I forgot. Instead of this paper cup, you can use anything, any container which is small, even a small nursery pot. This one works, right? Everything works. Anything that you want, which has soil, where you can put a seed, has a drainage hole, and something that you can keep anywhere. So I would typically not put it in a very big container because I can't move it. And we need to move small things, like we need to first put it in shade, in darkness, put moisture. The moment it starts sprouting, we want to put it in some amount of sunlight and then somewhere else. So for that kind of movement, it's always better to have something you can move around easily. That's the only criteria I would say. Do we need to water every day for tomato propagation? Absolutely. Water every day. Don't let it dry. It's absolute reverse of what I tell you for plants. You have to keep it moist. It's not plants. It's seeds. Seeds need this, right? Uh, just water them. And one tip with watering is, if you don't have a spray bottle, let's say you don't have a spray bottle, what we need to do then is, I have that in office. I had shown this when we were doing grow coriander and never. You can go to our IGTV video and see grow coriander part. It's also up on Facebook. Take a bottle, make some holes in the cap and put it back, and then you can use it for watering. There should be no pressure in the water, otherwise it can disturb the soil and the seeds. They're very delicate right now. Everything is very delicate. We don't need to disturb anything. So just take care of that. How many times should we water the seedlings of tomato? It depends on the soil you're using. Just don't let it dry. And where you keep it also. If you keep it in some place, it's going to get dry faster than we need to water it more. So just look at it for 1 or 2 days, then you'll know. I typically would water it like once a day and keep it in a dark place, like a place which is closed, and that's enough. If you water it once a day and cover it, then probably you can also let it go for 2 days and not water it. So that's the difference. Please share your coriander update from Shweta. Shweta, I don't have coriander here. Coriander I had grown in office, and that too struggled at that time because Delhi didn't have sun for 3 weeks. Is it ironic? When I did coriander, we didn't have sun for 3 weeks, and now we have nothing for 3 weeks except for time, and that's amazing. That's important. I missed class yesterday. How can I watch it? We'll check on that. Out of this, can you please quickly, what are the watering of areca palm? We'll do it some and do the needs of. Do seeds need sunlight before sprouting? No. And that's very important things to understand. And also, what do seeds need before sprouting? That's the question. They need some place where they can dig their roots. That's number one, right? And secondly, moisture, a very comfortable space. In fact, when you don't give them sunlight, they have a higher motivation to sprout and germinate and to go towards sunlight. So that's the thing. Priyanka says my methi seeds are visible. Should I cover them with more soil? That's okay. So like mine are also visible, but most of them are under. So if all of them are visible, just put some soil on it. Yes, very light layer, like not more than 1 or 2 mm, not more than that, and then pat it down with a. I did it with a wooden spoon, but you can do anything. Where can I see video for microgreens? We'll upload it. So on Facebook it's uploaded. The microgreen video is uploaded on Facebook. Today or tomorrow we'll be uploading all videos in a different format at places. I want this live class. continue in a manner that we're able to share. And I actually was thinking to put out a video including all of your updates also. So if you can also shoot some things and send us, maybe not now, maybe after a week, if you can send us that how it grew, it would mean a lot. I mean, imagine a video that we can do on microgreens, which ends up with 100 videos of people growing microgreens, or the same thing for this thing or anything. Because I see that really motivates people, because sometimes people say, oh, you can grow because you know how to grow, but what about most people, they can't grow, and they don't believe videos, because there's so many fake videos these days. They say, no, this is not possible. So when they see actually people doing it, it's a great thing.
We can also add anybody as panelist if they want to show their things on screen.
Great, Manoj. So anyone wants to show their anything, just do what, Manoj? Leave as a question. Okay, just put it as a question or as a comment. Oh, chat and questions are different thing. Just put it in chat and we'll get you added. Can you please show a quick recap of the carrot? Okay, I'll do that. So carrots is an activity for kids. Just let's remember that. The main idea is to get them interested about the aspect of growing and how things grow. So what I've done is I've taken this top from the carrot, like, right? Now you'll ask, how thick is this? So this part, the red part, is about 1 centimeter. I'm trying these orange ones for the first time actually. The red ones I've done before. And then I put them in water with half a centimeter of water, right? So basically they're not submerged in water, just part of them. Like if it is this, wait, I can't even see my video. So if it is like this, we put like till here, we put in water, like till here, right? That's it, that much. That's all. Okay. So, okay, Preeti, want to show the onion? Okay. So I'll just say before we go on to do this, officially my session for today is done. I'll do a recap in say 5 minutes of yesterday for anyone who missed yesterday. Till then, we are going to see other people's garden or whatever they did yesterday or today. And if you want to stay around for that, that's great. And if not, I understand. And thank you so much for taking out time for this from your schedule and being here. And thank you. Okay, Priya Mitra is next after, where is? Okay, wait. Preeti. Okay, Preeti, now you can show your video. And Manu, do one thing here. Just go to the participants list. Where you can search the names, and then in the more you can add them as participants. Anyone who wants to show, you can just add them as panelists right now, and they can show one by one. Let's not.
I have added Preeti and Shreya. Preeti has joined already.
Okay. Add all of them. You don't need to ask for their email ID. You can add without that. You understood?
Yeah, I got that. Okay,
perfect. कोई बात नहीं, कम
ये वो चल रही है, चुप
Okay, so anyone who's joining as panelists, just switch on their video. That will be amazing. Come, Preeti. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, perfect. You have done the onion thing.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
see my
wonderful, wonderful. Is there water? I can't see water. Oh, there. Yeah, I see it.
now you can see it.
Perfect, perfect. I hope you're finding this useful and you'll be doing today's also.
Yeah, it's very useful.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you also doing that methi and sarso?
I'll do it today.
Okay, okay. I'll see you around. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye. Okay, who else is there? Okay, okay. We have Shreya, I think. Okay, let me do one thing. Till then, let me just go back to recap of yesterday, because I think that's one thing that we are getting. Uh, uh, that's one thing that we are getting a lot of questions and requests for. What did you do yesterday? I'll show you what I did yesterday. In fact, let me just repeat it in a different uh, manner. So there are two ways to grow your microgreens, and one is a very simple method, which you can do. You can just take a container. Okay, how to grow microgreens? Quick step. I'm going to do. There are two ways to do it, and there's no right or wrong way. You can do whichever one. I prefer the coco peat one because it gives you better growth, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. Do whichever, but do something. Take a napkin, put it in this. Okay. Now, we take a napkin and we put it in. My napkin is small, that's why I'll be doing it in this one, but you get the idea. Now all we need to do is we need to put the seeds on top of it, and we need to spray and put a lot of seeds. This is not enough seeds, we need to put more. Okay, and just spread them out a bit. They are not piled on top of each other, they're close to each other but not on top of each other. That's what we want to do. Okay, so this is just yesterday I had done sarson on uh, this napkin. Today we are doing methi on napkin. Okay. And now what to do? Keep it and keep it in a dark place. I'm going to put it inside a cabinet. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah. The other way to do it is take this, put coco peat in it. Why coco peat? Because it regulates moisture. It will not allow it to get overwatered. At the same time, it retains moisture for the seed to feel kind of wet all the time. And also, it is very sterile, right? That's one word we know today. I mean, these days. Take coco peat and put some water on it. Now we are going to take the rice seeds. This is sarson seeds, right? I've put a lot more of these seeds. Okay. I don't think you'll be able to see because it's black on black, but okay, you can see it. See, there are a lot of them. Now what to do? That's one question Priyanka had asked today also, that she missed covering them. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't mean to say that you asked Priyanka, but now we cover it with a very thin layer of coco peat. Then what to do? For great growth, this is one thing that I always recommend. Take something, anything, and just pat it down a bit. What this does is, this gives a very firm place for the seeds to grow in. So their roots, I think they're much securely tied together. So they're going to grow up straight rather than falling here and there. Have you grown coriander and found that your seeds sometimes, because you also keep it outdoors, the shoots and everything, they just fall around and all? But this is just to prevent that. And then water again. It's watered. Keep in a dark place. Keep it moist. That's the thing. And don't worry about one thing, your shoots are going to come out yellow. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'll tell you, when they come out, I'll tell you what to do. Right? But don't worry that they're coming out yellow. Don't throw them away thinking they're coming out. So that's the microgreens that we did yesterday. For lemons, it's very simple. If you attended today, it's exactly same, except for one difference is, how do you get the seeds out of lemon which are not cut? So there's a trick. You take the lemon and you cut it from the edge. Okay? Just like this much. Okay? Now what we are going to do is, we're just going to, and then we are going to make one cut like this. Right? Now we can split open it with hands, and you see we get a lot of seeds which are, all these seeds are still intact. I've not hurt them, but you can continue opening this and take out more seeds. And after that, what you need to do is, you need to take a cup and put some lemon seeds in. So just like we did with tomato. But with lemon seeds, the thing is, they're bigger. So don't put like 5 of them like we did for tomato today. In a cup, I would say I would put 2 or 3, because also lemon seeds have a higher germination rate. They're much more likely to succeed than a tomato seed. So that's the balancing act there. Okay. So thank you so much. And so seeds. So I'm getting a lot of questions about tomato seeds and this seed and that seed, where to keep it. All seeds, by rule of thumb, till they sprout, till you see any growth coming out of them, just put them somewhere where it's dark and you can keep them moist. Right? Don't make them out of sight, out of mind. You need to be somewhere where it's easily accessible. Kitchen is a great place. Put it up in a cabinet of a kitchen or something. Right? If you can't do that, I think another very good option is just to cover it with something, right? And I don't have something to cover it with. Like say, I can do it like this, right? Now it has holes on top, so it doesn't help. But if imagine it didn't, then it was great. And after I dropped something. After the first shoot starts coming, that's when we need to start worrying about where to keep it. Right now, even no sunlight is a great thing right now for you, because that's when the seeds really want to Cover with foil paper. Absolutely, you can do that. Thank you. Pooja says, thank you. Tell us about growing onion. Okay, yeah, that also we did yesterday. Good catch. So this essentially is an exercise for kids. So every day I'm trying to include something for kids because they're kids, right? They would love to do something with their time, and now is the time to get them excited about things that you want. So we've just taken an onion and we need to balance it on top of water so that it is just kissing the water. That's it, just touching the water, not more. Don't even put it till here. No, just kissing the water. That's the way you'll have maximum root growth and without spoiling the onion. The shoot and root both will be great if it is only touching the surface of water. Now, easiest ways, I don't have toothpicks, so I've used screws, but you can use toothpicks. Put 3 toothpicks like this in an onion, right? And put it on top of your container so that it's just touching. Oh, wait, it moved. Can you see? Just touching. So just like that, we keep it. If it's not clear, that's just touching. Okay, the water level is visible. None of the onion is really submerged in it. Thank you, everyone. Let's do one thing. We were not able to figure out how to share here. Sunday will definitely have a way that everyone has their camera on. Sunday, that's going to happen, 100% for sure. It will be in some different format because also Sunday is the day when we will see updates on the microgreens and everything, and it will be an exciting times. So that will be great. But I'll need your cooperation that we'll keep all the mics off and we'll go in rotation to switch on the mics. It will be a great mammoth task, but we'll do it. Second thing, let's do one thing. Wherever you are sharing, if you're sharing on Instagram, let's do one thing. Tag us and also use the stay-at-home sticker on your stories in Instagram, because that just links the gardening and stay-at-home together. And let's get more people doing it. And I'm so happy. Thank you for coming. As I said, I didn't think anyone will come today, but you have, and that makes me excited. I wonder after a couple of days if I have nothing new to share, will people still come? Will there be a session on growing herbs? Absolutely, we'll do that. Let's do that. Let's do something. I don't have masala dani. That's, masala dani, na? But I'll get seeds from somewhere or something. Let's do coriander again, I think. I think we need to do more on whatever we can find at home and to grow. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. There'll also be a session on water propagation. There'll be a session on how you can cut money plant and grow it, and snake plant and rooting. I think that's going to be a great session. Monday, let's do that. Tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do, but we'll soon know. So I have some ideas. I'm kidding. It's not like I have no idea. Also, if you can have a session on what season to plant what vegetable. So the time that I say to plant, that's the time to plant. So that's how it's going to be. I'm never going to tell you a vegetable on how to grow it today when it's not the time to grow it at that time. Will growing herbs, will you be sharing the recording? So for all the attendees, we'll share the recording. For people who didn't attend, we won't share the recording. We'll try to make a fresh video which is smaller. So one of the biggest issue with this lockdown is we don't have access to a great internet, our team as a whole. I can't upload or edit a 30-minute video or a 50-minute video which has to go through 3 people. Like I record it, and if I have to record more videos, then somebody else has to do more editing. That's Yatu and Tathagat. And I have to upload, they have to download, they have to upload, then somebody else has to download and then upload to the system. That's not happening. So we are trying to figure out the most efficient way to still connect with you all. So the whole recording of this webinar will be made accessible to anyone who has attended yesterday or today. So absolutely. Manoj, let's send out an email right away, and so that people have access to the recording. Thank you so much. I'm going to close it for now. And all the questions that you have put out, we'll go through them. I'll definitely take them up tomorrow, the summary of the questions, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, and adios, and happy growing.